Alrighty. Alright, so game audio should be good. Echoes and voice. Alright, that looks good now. So whenever you're ready, you can just count down. I got the timer here ready.
So 3, 2, 1, on go.
Got it.
Alright. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh wait, hold on. You reset it? I made a mistake.
Yeah, I didn't press it yet. We're good.
Alright, epic.
Imagine resetting in a marathon.
Alright, that didn't happen. That's showing you what not to do. Alright, we good now?
Yes.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. So just so you know, I'm going to be quiet for the first little bit here, because I don't want to muck this up, and then I can explain what's going on.
Alright, good luck.
Alright, epic. I'll explain why I had to take my time there in a bit. But basically, this is Spyro Orange. This game is an attempt at a combination between Spyro and Crash. It came out after A Hero's Tale and Twinsanity, I believe. I'm not 100% certain, but it has characters from both of those games, so I presume that that's what it is. So the premise of this game is that Cortex and Ripto have met up, and they're like, hey, we're both bad guys, you have, you know, good guys we want to kill, let's combine our powers and make Rhinox that are overpowered and buff up our scientists. But in reality, like, the enemies in this game are like really like basic, like all of them can be flamed, they're not that much like bigger or more dangerous than past games, so I don't know if they have like brain damage from being defeated so much, but yeah, they're not very impressive. So we're kind of in Dragon Castles, which is a giant damn ass castle. We've realized that there's random dudes spawning, so we're like, well, we've got to go investigate. Why is there buffed up Rhinox everywhere? So something you've seen this is levels like these. Shrink all the levels. There's 4 homeworlds, and each homeworld has 5 kind of mini games. Lots of them are like this. They're auto-scrollers. Most of them are from the top down. This one is like a Jeep one. We're in this weird Jeep car thing with a really odd cannon strapped to the top. With Spyro apparently sitting in it, even though the graphic looks like he's sitting behind it. There's lots of things in this game which look really just rushed and crap. So the objective is, you see, to unlock this portal in each homeworld. Just generally I might be slightly quiet during the platforming just so I can try get it right, because the main time save is of course in the platforming, because this is when you want to scrollers. It's one of the few damage abuses we can do to actually save time is just here. Most things you bump off or bounce into to try skip over them just hit you back, so you can't actually get past it, but that's one of the few ones you can get the spike to bump us forward. We have a spark system in this game, much like most of the other Spyro games, but how it works is there's kind of like a set sparks health for the home worlds, and then each time you enter a mini game for any of the worlds that have sparks, such as this one, it resets you back to full. And it always does that in the game, but then when we go back to the home world, we'll have the sparks that we entered in, so we'll go back to green sparks. So these levels, as I said, are the auto-scrollers. This is the main type. It's like a overboard one. They're really simple and easy not to fail, but if you're not careful, you can get caught out and get squished if you're like at the back when one of the walls comes by. So it's really easy to just assume that these are free and to just chill and lax, but then you hit a wall and you're like, oh, well, that's just great, I've got to do it again, I've lost a minute. So yeah. There's several different variations of this. There's this one where we're in a tank, there's one where we're in a UFO, there's one where we're just flying by ourselves, there's another one too, what is it? I think there's another one. I'll remember when I get up to it. But a lot of the minigames comprise of this type of thing. It's really, it seems like the Spyro version compared to the Crash version is really rushed. The Crash version has lots of variants in the games. They're still not great, both of them are still pretty average, but at least has lots of different types. They just get creative with it, but most of these are either mashing or side-scrolling. Yeah. So we're in the first tank bit. This one's relatively simple. If we take damage like that, it doesn't really lose anything. We can like mash to shoot lots of shots. I don't think it like causes much lag. There are things in this game that will do extra inputs, which is relevant to the next homeworld. It causes lag, but in this I don't think it does. So we have like mines that are around here, X portal. The main way we can save times in those areas is we can try to remember where the exit portals are, but it's so brain dead to do. So each of the homeworlds are split into 2 sections, and in between them there's usually a mashing minigame. 3 of them are extremely easy. One of them it seems like it's difficult, but you can only ever pass within like the last second. Yeah, it's odd. So this is like a, I don't know what you call it, like a one-on-one game. I guess I'll explain a bit later because there's a couple of them. It's gonna be a bit tricky. There we go. So you see in some areas we do it in this, but especially in the next homeworld where we jump over enemies rather than just flaming them. Flame in lots of these levels causes a lot of lag. So unless we want to, what am I trying to say? What's a good way to put it? Unless we have to flame them because like we can't jump over them because there's like a roof or whatnot, we're just gonna flame them. So you saw there, I was kind of just diddling around with a sheep. Platforms in this game start moving when you first see them on the screen. So that platform, no matter how fast or slow we go, as soon as we get there, it's always just out of our reach, so we have to wait for it. This is another type of minigame. It's like, I would call it Breakout, I think, is like the original. So you got different types of enemies. The blue ones, when you pop them, give you an extra ball. The green ones kind of just walk back and forth. They don't do a lot. There's a couple more that get introduced later on, but they're all pretty boring, I guess. What's the word? Like, unimaginative, I think is the word I'm trying to think of. We have kind of 2 attacks. Let's call them an attack. One boosts the ball out and the other drags it in so you can kind of catch it. There's a bit of platforming here, which is a lot harder than it should be. It almost seems like in this game it can often drop your jump inputs, but it's like it consistently drops them, so it's like it's not like standard drop where you have like a bit of lag and it just won't take it, or it's inconsistent. For that area you can almost just hold left and keep jumping, but I've never gotten like the 4th jump. I get the 3 quite easy, and then the 4th like almost always doesn't allow it. So it's almost like there's some sort of like a build-up counter. So it's like if you do 3 within 2 seconds, it's like, oh, you can't do the 4th for a bit. So it's just easy to take time. If we fall down, then either we fall into some water and we respawn back at the portal, or we would fall down and land and just have to go left and root around. Most of these levels are rooted in this sense, so we do as little walking in the area as we can. So generally we just want it to, like loop around, or unless there's in the next homeworld and the one after, there's examples of portals that are really out there, so it seems like we have to travel a long way to get them, but there's no easy way to route them in another place. It's just another auto-scroller with flying. I don't know why it uses a different method each time. It could be, see, I don't know too much about, I don't know the word to use, the lore, I guess, but when you beat each of these minigames, you get a trading card. The whole premise of this game is you get trading cards in Spyro and Crash, and you trade it between, so it's basically like Hearthstone before Hearthstone, I guess you can call it. But we don't need them in this category, which is just called Beat Cortex. We just want to beat each level once and then get to the end and beat Cortex. The cards are relevant in any percent, which is where I believe, I'm not certain, so don't quote me on this, you need to beat all levels 3 times, and then you can get into a place called Tech Park, where you can fight Ripto, but we don't do that in this, because we just care about beating Cortex. So we're going to the first boss. This is where we meet Crash, and he's like, hey, you're another one of those dudes, we gotta get rid of you. So it's this minigame again. Best strategy is just to mash B, there's no point doing anything else. Where am I? Okay, so there's no point doing anything else in those games other than mash B, because the AI moves left to right, and they see the platform, they build it, and then they have a high chance of moving on the platform that they've just repaired. So you just hit it, and then they'll fall down. There's no better strat to do it, I don't think. You could try move around, or you could try time it, but you could easily just lose tons. Oh no, I know Magic created it, but Magic probably came out before this, so I'm suggesting that, yeah, it was like Magic, then this, then Hearthstone. That's the trifecta of glorious card games of our time. That's what I was talking about. So we have this Magnet Walker game. I don't know the true name of it. I don't know the name of lots of these things because I don't know. We only do this game twice. Once is now, and once is when we fight Cortex. The general premise is you just want to flip when you see a bomb to grab it, and then you just want to hit the scientists. Yeah, it's quite long, but if you're a bit sloppy with it, you can easily get hit and just lose your sparks and die and then have to re-go, or you can get squished and you have to redo. So you kind of just want to, yeah, that's irritating. Do it as best you can. But kind of, some of them can be a bit cheesy when they come up. That guy, you have to drop down and hit him. You can't hit him from the ledge above, even though it looks like you can. There's another one coming up here that like spawns right when you flip up. So if you're on your guard, you can, if you're not on your guard, you can easily die here. As I'm not that far from doing, because you know, it's the whole game is just summarized by it seems easy, and it is. But if you take your mind off it a bit, you could just slip up, and then you lose time, and then you're just like, why am I playing this? This is terrible. Why am I playing some other better auto-scroller video game? I think the exit's here, but I'm not certain. Generally when there's a gap, you can kind of guess it's there. So from beating the last boss, we got a double jump, which we'll use a bit here. Platforming here can be a bit tricky. Oh nice, I flamed that guy, but once again, just game likes to eat inputs. We're gonna try getting a platform here. Oh, I got on it when I fell off, damn it. It's a lot harder than it looks. As I said earlier with platforms, they start moving when they come into screen, and pretty much as soon as you land there, you have to be jumping to get up. I just missed it. I think I actually got on it, but because I was right on the tip, it like squeezed me out. Yeah, there's... I want to say you unlock 3 power-ups, like 1 from each boss you do. So in this one you get the double jump, in the next one you get like a flutter, which is like lots of little jumps. But then after that, I don't really know what you get, because I don't think we use it. Maybe we do and I'm just like not remembering. But the 2 main ones is the double jump, which is there, and the flutter jump. This is an example of where if you're not paying attention, you can usually get caught out by these things here. Not these things, the walls. Quite an often common thing they do to try trick you, so they'll have like a diagonal line. So we kind of want to sit just ahead of the back, but not straight at the back, because there are occasional times where we can like hold left or right, and we still won't like make it. We have to move back to make it, if that makes sense. It's a bit hard to explain, but you just want to be safe. Try pay attention, but still, you know, think of a good commentary, I guess, because watching this is like, it's boring as hell. Last year I think we had the 3-way race, which would have made it a bit better, but yeah, I don't think either of them will be up for racing again. So now, where are we at? Oh, we're going to the left, right. So this is a good example of where we jump over enemies instead of flaming them. Because of, that's not good, because of lots of, I think it's because lots of things are moving in this level, because there's enemy cycles, there's axes, there's platforms, and when we flame, it severely lags up the game, so we just, like, don't want to flame. I actually head bash that shit rather than flaming it. If you flame it, it has a really, really long animation to die, but head bash kills it instantly. So, if you want to get a sheep fodder, just to be safe, you can. I should say, you don't want to flame it because he like turns black and then all the ash drops down because it turns into ash, and then his eyeball like does a little blink thing. It's supposed to be comedic, like, oh look, you burned him and he wasn't ready for it. So in this one we get some new enemies. We get these shield guys and scientists. The shield guys have a shield so you can't hit them. The scientists seem to be the same as the green guys, like unless they have a slightly smaller hitbox, I don't know. See Sergeant Bird chilling there. I don't remember what he tells you, but he's just there. You get lots of characters who just be stuck there to go, hey, don't get hit by the axe, you'll get hurt. I'm here because, you know, I'm a Spyro character, or I'm a Crash character. Another mashing game. Probably could mash a bit better, but I'm using a GameCube controller, which has like a really fat, big A button. So That spike is irritating. Next portal we're going to is kind of hidden in a nook here. It's actually quite easy to miss if you don't know where it is. I should mention, in relation to that, so Spark's in the homeworld. When you're near a portal, he starts flashing red and blue, I think, to try and let you know that you're near a portal you can enter. At the start, I kind of said I need to focus because portals take gems to enter, and every time you beat a game or you pick up a gem, you get gems. And every time you die, you lose 10 gems. So at the start, we need 10 gems for the first portal, but on the way there's only 12. And some of them, I believe it's the colored ones don't respawn, but red ones do. But if you die before you get to the first portal, because just for reasons, and you lose your gems, you actually have to go further in the level to get up to 10 gems and then get back. But after that, there's lots of leniency with it. So just for the sake of not having to reroute the start unnecessarily, just wanted to make sure I did that correctly. So we are at another tank level. We've got like ice pillar things that we have to avoid, as well as the walls. We've also got these tank things which shoot which have their cannon going back and forth. They're kind of odd because they take a while to shoot, and when they do, they don't shoot a normal cannonball. They shoot like an electric shot, even though they look like, they have the design of a standard military tank. So I don't quite get that, but it's Spyro Orange. It's a great game. It's also kind of odd because the cannonball shot, or whatever this thing's supposed to be, like a big like long pointed metal tip thing. It comes out of the edge of the cannon, but the cannon itself, the sprite, like shrinks in, so it's nowhere big enough, like near enough big. What am I trying to say? It's nowhere near small enough to fit in the cannon and shoot out. But it still does. There's so many things in this game that just make it seem like it's heavily rushed, despite it being a poor game in the first place. Like, you think it would be easy to just design a cannon shot that looks like it would actually fit in it, So I don't know. Maybe the Crash one has lots of rush things too that I just don't see, but I don't recall it being as bad as this. We've got a little section here where we're trying to fall. It's kind of tricky to do optimally, but I'll try my best. Oh, okay. If I didn't fall down there, it would have been optimal. But that's alright. We at least got down and we didn't die. So now I have a thing called Ice Chopper, I think it said, where we just charge up a cannon and shoot it at this dude. It's like the only type of this minigame. You could compare it to the mashing games, but it also requires you to shoot it. And now we climb back up to the top. So we're getting up to a boss fight. We're about to fight Crush and Gulp. And this fight, to do it optimally, is actually really, really tricky. I'll try to explain it as well as I can for getting up to it. I actually have to get up there first. So we've got Crush and Gulp. Crush is down below trying to hit us with his axe, and Gulp is at the back shooting electric down, and we have to use Crush to deflect shots up to Gulp. No, that's the other way around. We have to use... Oh lordy, my head isn't working. That's unfortunate. Okay. So I'm going to slow down a bit to try and get up here, because this platforming is irritating. So we have Green Dude. Let's call him Green Dude, Blue Dude. Green Dude at the back, Blue Dude at the front. Blue Dude's trying to hit us. We have to stop Blue Dude, so shots fired by Green Dude bounce back up at Green Dude. And then we defeat them both. Yeah. So start of it's pretty, it's kind of like a setup. We've got Green Dude who's setting it up for us. He's just shooting the shots down. And when he finishes 5 shots, the screen will shake a bit, and Blue Dude, your boy Gulp, will enter from here. And we want to head bash and get him in this spot. I'll try to do it as best I can. The timing isn't like... it's around there. Alright, I think that might be it. So we have to flame him to keep him in place. Then he'll come over and get shot. And I want to move him over here. And the third spot I want to put him, I believe, is just here. There's 2 cycles to this fight. Yep, okay. What do I want to put him next? Let me think. Okay. If he could get up for me, there we go. So we're going to keep him here. And I'm going to put him over here. And finally, want him to come over here. Can you come over here? It's just going to stop him. he's hard to manipulate. Sometimes he gets up like immediately, and other times he like just sits here. It's so finicky. I tell you, the amount of like time me and Jeremy put into this to try and get like a clean attempt each is ridiculous. I suppose I should mention Jeremy Thompson. He helped me make up the general route for this. He ran it in the past. He technically has the world record. I think his time is a 34:58, I want to say. I'm not 100% certain on that number, but it's similar to that. So now we have the flutter, which you see we're using here. You kind of do your double jump, and then use it to get a tiny bit of height, and then other than that, it just makes you decrease your height really slowly. So we have another auto-scroller here. Which you saw there, I only got caught out. This one has a couple of nasty bits which can really get you if you're not paying attention. So I'm even saying that. It's really like, in terms of tricks and that, there's not a lot to this that you really have to practice and do, but it's just making sure that you're not being... you just gotta make sure that you're being cautious enough to look out for the tricks and that. I suppose if you wanted to go really hardcore and get an amazing time, you could remember the layouts for all of these, but it's, I don't know, hats off to whoever has the drive and the spirit to do that, man. That's all I'm saying. So we're in the third homeworld now. There's 4 until, as I said. We start off in Dragon Castles, then we go to Ice Place, then we go to Lava Place. I'm sure they have names, but I just don't remember them. That was close, Jesus. And then we go to... I don't know if it has a particular name. It would have a name. It's basically the jungle where Crash allegedly came from. Oh, what is it called? I think it'll come up when I get to the end portal of this homeworld, so I just gotta look out for it. But yeah, we're well on our way to getting the Cortex. I think this is the ending. Yeah, it is. You can see Crash there, waiting for us. So here we're going to do a bit of fluttering, just because it's easier than trying to land on the ground. I believe I believe, and I'm 90% certain, but our speed on the in the air is the same as it is when we're running on the ground. So if there's like an area where we can just flutter for ages to get over enemies and obstacles, then we're going to do it, rather than trying to time jumps and that on the ground. So another ball mini game. This is the third of 4. It's basically just the same as others, just trying to get the enemies as best we can. There's a couple of them which at the start, we just want to, it's like blue guys right in front of us, so it makes it easier because we can get some balls rolling, but other ones, sometimes they're behind others, so it's harder. This one's kind of a pain just because they're right at the back of the wall, so I'll try my best to flick them the right way. Alright, nice. This one's a bit easier because it has the 2 dudes basically right in clean sight. Except there's 2 scientists left. Okay, there we go. So now we have a third mini game we're going to go to. Kind of go up high for this one. We get a couple of gems up here. And then we're just going to jump and flutter over 3 enemies, I think, and then we'll land right in front of the portal that we need just here. This is another one of these games. There's 2 dudes, but it's the same thing. We just want to mash. I think the strategy's ever failed me, maybe once. It's almost like a 50-50 when they finish building there, whether they'll move on top of it or whether they'll go to the other side. There we go. So you kind of just, best case scenario is the first time you destroy it, they're both on it. But that's pretty unlikely to happen. They're like, it's random, their movements are random from the start. So this is the game that no matter how hard, or I want to say slow, but you can mash pretty slowly, but you could go probably like absolute ham on this, and it still won't let you finish in like under, in over a second. I think it's because this thing here we're turning, actually it just has a set speed, and it's relatively easy to get, but I won't go over it. So if we fail this, I'll be highly surprised, but I believe under a second we should finish it. Yeah, it's 0.58 every time. It's, I don't know why all the others are like, you know, you can get it in a couple of seconds, but this one, it makes you like really get to the end and go, oh my god, I'm not going to make it, and it's, oh, I just made it. And then the 4th one is like back to being pretty easy. So now we're just doing some more platforming using our double jumps and such, trying to flame when we know where the enemies are, but, you know, well-coded game. Hot Wings, another brilliant auto-scroller. You'd think this game was made by like an indie dev, but it's made by, yeah, Boys Vicarious Visions, the one and only. once again, just trying to not get caught out by things. So I should say with the trading card things, the way you get more trading cards, you every time you beat a minigame, you get a trading card, or beat a boss, or just do something that's like, you know, an actual event, you get a card. And you can actually do each minigame 3 times, and each time it ramps up the difficulty. I believe the layout changes slightly, but other than that, everything takes an extra hit. So all these things we're destroying in 1 hit would only take 2 in the higher difficulties. Which still isn't that bad, because like you can shoot quite quickly, you've got plenty of time to see where they are. But I guess that's how they chose to increase the difficulty. So I'm not 100% certain, but I believe it is to get to Tech Park, which is to do the actual what's defined as any percent in this game. You have to beat them all 3 times. And then you can go on to Tech Park, which has its own set of minigames. But that's like, I tip my hats off to people like Pete who have run that, because it's just 3 times as much as this. It's yeah. So we, as I was explaining a bit earlier, we have to do a fair bit of backtracking here to get to the portal we need. There actually is a much faster way to get to this portal, but it involves a really, really specific damage abuse. So like the spikes, when we bounced off them, it was really easy to just jump into one. It would bounce us forward, we would have the invulnerability frames, and then we could use that to go through those spikes. But those guys that were flying back there, you can kind of see them when you're back down on the ground, and if you jump up at a very specific point and tap off it, it's very small, the window it's in, maybe a couple of frames. It can boost you up onto one of the platforms we just walked over, but I think I've only ever done it once, like out of lots of tries. It's very specific, and I don't truly remember how to do it since we were tinkering with it over a year ago, so I probably would, for the sake of it, just go for it to try it out, but I don't even recall specifically how to do it. So now we're going into the 3rd boss fight. This is Nina. She's basically got the Professor and Coco trapped in cages, so we have to just get her to aggro on her. She's like really mad because she's trying to grab us. And we just jump, she slides, bumps into the cages. There's 2 phases to this fight. Once these 2 get out, this boiler will open. I believe it's a boiler, and then we fire flame into it, and it'll raise the spike roof, and then we can get up to the portal on the right. It almost seems like you should just be able to jump up and damage abuse off it to get up there. But until this boiler actually opens, it seems like it's like locked with the window of how big it lets you up there. So that should be big enough. Get up here, and then we can like damage abuse into it, so you don't need to get it all the way up so you don't take damage. I didn't look out for what this place is called. It's only called, I don't know, something like Wampa Jungle, or yeah. So we now have the 2nd Jeep level. This is the same as the first one, except instead of the spikes, we have like tentacle grass thing, and there's helicopter guys. It's one of the easier auto-scrollers, even though they're all pretty easy, as long as you're not like Among, but it's still one of the easy ones to not fall down. Granted, in saying that though, when I was practicing earlier, I did fall down and die here, so preferably I'm not going to do that. Yeah, just to show off how ridiculous this thing is. Like, design choice. I like too how the cannon shots you shoot out of it, like, dribble out too if you do it short range. You can hold it to charge them up if you want to shoot further like that. But if you just shoot it normally, they kind of just like spurt out and just roll. Like, there's so many design choices that I would have loved to have sit in the room of the designers and just gone, right, why are we doing this like this, fellas? Like, what are you thinking? Once again, main time saver is just like not dying and trying to recall where the exit is so we can get to it as soon as it pops up on screen. I do like the music to these levels though, I'm not gonna lie, the Jeep one, it's actually okay. I think we have 1 more auto-scroller to go, or maybe 2. I think we have 2 to go. So yeah. This is what I was talking about earlier with the power-ups. I don't really know what we got from the last boss, if we got anything, because right now we're still just using the double jump and the flutter. Maybe it like improved our jump and I just don't realize. I'm really not sure. but whatever it is, if it does exist, it doesn't, you know, it's not useful always scatter. This one at the start, if you're not careful, can easily catch you out. Just that section there. I think after that, this one's pretty straightforward, but at the start there. I have no idea, Zoomy. The music could be from that for all I know. I don't know. What else is there to say at the moment, other than video games? There's a bit there which can trick you once you know it's there, like you actually remember it, but that's probably the biggest troll back there, where it looks like there's 3 paths, and the middle one has dudes in it, but if you go down it, it's actually just a dead end. So if you play it for the first time, I can recall getting stuck there, but generally at that point you're over on the right anyway, so you have really no reason to go in. Excuse me, you have no reason to go into the middle if you see there's a path on the right. You did it. Now we're going over to the next mashing game, right? Yeah. Oh no, there's another one. I always forget where the middle one is. Let's go have another one of these. Same strat as before. Just mash it. Hope that he goes over where it is. They seem to like this game lags really weirdly. Not this game, this particular mini game. Sometimes they'll move really fast and everything will go fast, and then other times it really slows down. It doesn't seem to like matter what's on the screen either, it just, yeah. So, saw there, that was the final mashing game, which seems like it's considerably less stressful than the middle mashing game. I don't know why they put it in that order. I guess they decided. It's good game design, I don't know. Oh, that was the wrong button. Now you have the second last minigame, or third last if you count the boss as a minigame. I guess that's something too. 2 of the bosses are kind of based on minigames, but the other 2 are like their own separate things, mainly that's the second and third bosses, that is. And we have the last one, which... that's unfortunate. You can sometimes get this incredibly quickly if the balls bounce off a certain way. You can get it done like the quickest of any of this type of game, but other times like you saw they just bounce straight off into both the shields, which is really unfortunate. But what can you do? Alright, just got a bit more platforming over to the right. This homeworld loops around really nicely. You kind of just go over to the right, jump up to the next level, and then go over to the left. Everything's in order. We don't have to run through the next world portal. And we have the final mini game that's not the boss game, which is another auto scroller, which is the tank one. 110 gems. That's not significant. I guess it kind of shows how gems kind of exponentially go up. So at the start, when we get the first minigame, we generally only have 1 or 0, but now we have 110. So even this minigame is only 40 gems to unlock, so we'd have to die, what, like, well that was after it, so we actually had 150, so we'd have to die 11 times, 12 times to not have enough gems to get into that last thing, so it gets considerably easier. I said everything notable about this game. I can't think of anything else. I guess the question is, after they remaster Spyro 1, am I right? Are they able to remaster this? Because it's the best of both worlds. Who's with me? I guess you can get caught out a bit there if you're like, I don't know, half asleep. But it kind of gives off the idea that there's a gap there, but there's not actually. It's just 2 tanks chilling. Yeah, zooming's got my back now. Yeah, last time I remember the commentary being like really like we didn't know what we were doing, so I tried to at least think of enough to get through most of this. For anyone who's still bothered to stay here, so there's only so much you can think about this when it's just all auto scrollers that have little to no strategy other than just getting to the end. Alright, so the final boss, as I said earlier with the magnet game, it's basically a copy of that. You can do it pretty quickly, except it's hard to see most of the rockets you want to get early, so you kind of gotta remember where they are. So a lot of the time the roof and the ground are quite far apart from each other. So it's basically him here. Occasionally he'll charge up a shield and we destroy it, and then when we do, he like shoots at us. I don't think he shoots. I think if you wait a while he may shoot, but it is a while. So you can see here I'm kind of just turning because I don't really remember where the rockets are and I want them all. I think it's 2 more hits directly on him and we got all the hits. And time's coming up when we do the final hit, I should say, which I'll save time when we do. Is it here? No, there's one more. Where's the last one? It's just there. Okay, time. Is anyone in here to do time? Hello? Monka S? Someone in chat confirm what's happening. It's only 5:38. That's 20 seconds better than my practice run. Look at that. And it's actually recorded. Funnily enough, the leaderboards for this have like a 39 is the best time. So yeah. I should probably put